this example, we are going to play around with first building a mask image and then applying that mask image to our NDVI image to end up with a masked NDVI image, which essentially means that it will be an image which will only have pixel values in the areas that we care about. And so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to create a new NDVI image where these red areas currently shown will be all some uniform value which is outside the range that we're interested in. So the first step is to actually build the mask. And at this stage, we've already gone through and we've exported this raster density slice as a shapefile. So up here we want to build the mask. So we just type build mask. And we find this tool, double click on it, and it says, okay, what's the input file you want? And this is our Landsat NDVI file, whatever you called it. We say okay. And okay, now this is, so what's the attributes for the mask you want to create? And so we want to import, it says EVF, but actually what we want is, it's the shapefile. And EVF is an old ENVI classic file format, but you say below NDVI pixels or whatever the exported shapefile name you gave it. You say okay, and this is going to be associated with the NDVI file. And we want to, very important, go to options, and we want to say the selected areas, we want to turn them off. Essentially we want to create a mask which will black out these areas, these red areas. We want to black these guys out, and to do that we said selected areas off. That's very important. And then we will write this to some kind of a file. So we're going to call this, you can use a better name. I was going to call this mask1, and we're going to open that, and let's say okay. And it's working. It's going to build this binary mask. So essentially it'll have values of 1 where we have good data, and it'll have values of 0 where those are the off areas, the areas which we've sort of turned off for this guy. And it's clicking along here, and so you can get a sense about some of the processing time. Okay, now it's done. We've created this new guy, and if we look at our pixel, right, so for this mask 1, right, white areas have a value of 1 and black areas have a value of 0. Okay, and so this is our mask image. The next thing we want to do is actually apply the mask, and that's over here. So we had build mask, so we can also do apply mask. And there, okay, here's this tool. So we want to now apply this mask. Okay, so looking at this, we want the NDVI image as our input file, and the mask band we want to be mask, what we just created. In my case, I called it mask1, but you can have a better name, hopefully. And we want to, okay, so this is looking good. And then we can say okay. And now this is going to say, okay, what is the value you want this masked area to receive? And we're actually going to want to set this value way outside the expected range of the NDVI value. So we can actually have an NDVI value of 0. That's not terribly uncommon. So we're actually going to set the mask value much more negative. NDVI should just go from -1 to 1. So we're going to go way outside the expected NDVI range. And we're going to call this guy, again, just for my example here, masked NDVI. You can have a better name. And let's say good, and let's say okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's take a look at this guy. So we got our cursor value. Here's the masked NDVI, right? And we can see, oh, I'm going around, different values. These are all -1.5. And that's really useful, right? Because these are all these uniform guys in places that we don't care about. So essentially we've really simplified the data in our image, and now it's just, we've got NDVI values just in the places that are legitimate, where we could have vegetation. So that's fantastic.